Okay, I'm gonna show you guys something that I know. I'm from Florida, so I can tell you I know a little bit about Florida. But we're just gonna show a little video from Barry Stepp. You can go over here, check out his channel. I love watching Barry Stepp. He's got a good bunch of good clips. But we're gonna watch this this clip right here, and I want to show you guys something. Ready?
Explain itself, and then we'll talk about it.
Florida man claims to have been kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. The man was found early Monday morning on the side of a beach in Lee County, soaking wet, dehydrated, and confused. When deputies arrived, he was drawing detailed diagrams in the sand. According to the man, a pod of dolphins took him while he was swimming and brought him to a place about 40 feet under the surface. He said they forced him to help build underwater structures. He told deputies the dolphins communicated with him using clicks. He said the group had a leader named Gerald who somehow helped him breathe underwater, possibly by creating an airspace. The man spent 3 days working on what he described as cities, towns, and condo-like structures. When the dolphins were satisfied with his work, they sent him back to the surface and told him they would return for phase 2. Medical staff treated him for dehydration, but found no signs of head injury or mental confusion. Tests showed seawater and marine particles in his lungs, suggesting he had been deep underwater for a long time without typical lung damage. This was unusual and raised questions for doctors. The man holds a master's degree in aerospace engineering and has experience with deep sea technology, which he says is why the Dolphins chose him. Some people think the story is false, but the physical evidence has made others curious. Let me know what you think.
So a guy with a master's degree who shows no evidence of drug use, no evidence of a concussion or any kind of head trauma, doesn't show any other signs of being mentally unwell, and he gives authorities probably the craziest line of bull I've ever heard in my entire life, fully expecting them to believe it. I thought for sure when I first heard this story that this was just some guy playing some sort of a prank or something on the general public and wanted to see how far the story would spread. But all of these details have apparently been verified, and the plot thickens. There is more to the story.
This gets crazy.
The government is trying to hide the fact that Gerald the Dolphin does exist and did kidnap that man. This is the most insane thing I've ever said. A lot of people from Lee County, Florida are sending me videos of the area where it allegedly happened. And I grew up in Florida, so I understand
Florida's awesome.
It's crazy because I saw crazy when I lived there, and crazy is crazy. And there are helicopters landing on islands. There are FBI agents. There are a lot of people investigating the situation.
Sounds
I
about
had a conversation with the manatee, but it didn't try to kidnap me. Now, why would there be government officials investigating a situation if it wasn't real? How many licks does it take till you get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. Gerald the Dolphin is real.
Gerald.
They're getting ready for phase 2. Inquisitive minds just want to know, how are they going to find him for phase 2? Unless he goes back to the beach.
Now, I've just got a couple of things here that I'd like to talk about. For one, if they're actually investigating this as if it was an actual event, if they're genuinely taking this serious, that would kind of imply that they had some knowledge before this event that would make something like this believable to them, which may explain why they've led us all to believe that it's illegal to talk to dolphins. And think about all of the scientific experiments that they've done in history with dolphins. They've literally tried to communicate with them in the past. They've tried to train them to maneuver into hard-to-get-to areas in the ocean with explosives strapped around them. They've done a lot of crazy stuff with dolphins. And it was just about, a month ago that we saw another sighting of the Montauk monster, that crazy hairless, half pig, half dog looking thing that washed up on the shore. We've seen now at least 3 different occasions that I'm aware of where that specific, very, very distinct looking creature was caught on video. And it's clear when you look at the other videos that all 3 videos show the exact same creature. Some completely unknown specimen that looks like some major atrocity to the animal kingdom. I can't help but to assume that somewhere they're doing some sort of experiment where they're manipulating animals' DNA and doing all these genetic experiments on them, and they're creating these things. And we know they're working on cloning technology. We know that they're working on this CRISPR stuff. And before they do anything with humans, they test it out on animals first. We should all remember, because it hasn't been that long ago, that before they put the first Neuralink into a human being, They were putting it in pigs and reading their brainwaves. What if they've put some new technology into a dolphin and it escaped out into the wild? Maybe they made this thing too smart. And being a dolphin, it wouldn't be completely outside the realm of possibility that if it suddenly understands language, that it could learn to communicate with humans, which it would have been trained probably to do in the lab. And then at the same time, it figures out a way to communicate with other dolphins that was previously unheard of, because it's just working with a whole new level of intelligence now. I know that's a lot of maybes. I know it would take a wild stretch of the imagination to get on board with this idea. But with all the crazy experiments that our government's done in the past, it's not outside the realm of possibility. It could be that when this guy made the statement to the papers that this dolphin that abducted him's name was Gerald, that could have triggered an investigation from some secret government group that was working on genetic mutations or experiments for dolphins, and they happened to lose one with that name. How many movies have we heard of with this plot in it? And how many times have you heard that these people in Hollywood never have an original idea? All they know how to do is steal and rewrite things. So it wouldn't be that hard to believe that maybe all these sci-fi stories came from other people's real life experiences, and it's just been kept quiet. It's never been leaked out into the public. They show us everything else they're doing in movies. But I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't know what I believe in regards to this story. I think the whole thing is fascinating. It's probably one of the most interesting stories that I've come across in the entirety of this YouTube channel. Just the fact of how wild of a story it is, how detailed it is, and that there's actually evidence to support what this guy is saying. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But you guys get down in the comments and let me know.
Okay, so I'm going to add to that story a little bit of stuff I know. And this could be pretty quick. Okay, so you can see this story here. It says, story about Florida man kidnapped by dolphins goes viral. Gerald the dolphin, is it real? Florida man, Ricky James. You can go look the story up, read it for yourself. Let's see if I can pull an image up so you know what I'm looking at. Yeah, this right here. This dude, Lee County, Florida. Now, you're going to think, oh, that's ridiculous conspiracy theory story. But I know some things that you can look up right now about dolphins to pretty much kind of prove it with some validity here. It says, during the 1960s Cold War, the CIA and NASA explored using dolphins for clandestine operations, including intelligence gathering, weaponization for harbor defense, attempts to communicate with them using LSD. Apparently, dolphins have like psychic abilities, and so they did some experience. But that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing was there was this game, like I said, Westwood Studios back in the day made this game called Red Alert 2. And in this game, there were the dolphin. They were attack dolphins. They had this little sonic weapon on them, and they were used to attack like Soviet ships and submarines. But it's not just a video game. It's real. Like this video game's based off of real things. So right here, it says Allied Dolphin units from Red Alert 2. And there's a Reddit post on it. It's kind of a cool little picture. So they got something on his little flipper. And you can read the comments here. They were talking about like the psychic dominator used in Red Alert 2, psychic abilities. And yeah, and this guy says dolphins talk to him. Well, the only way the dolphins could talk to him is through psychic abilities, you know? But let's go to AI. Now that we have AI these days, the AI can use LLMs and stuff, pull up answers within as quick as asking a question. They're using AI now to communicate with dolphins. It says Google is developing an AI model named Dolphin Gemma to decode and communicate with dolphins, utilizing 40 years of audio recordings from the Wild Dolphin Project. This technology, which can run on mobile devices, analyzes whistles and clicks to identify patterns, essentially creating a real-time translator for dolphin communication. So like I showed you back here, you can see this dolphin. Oh no, I probably close that. See this dolphin right here? They trained dolphins back during the Cold War to deactivate mines in the ocean, underwater mines. They used them for all kinds of things. Detecting sonar. The Dolphins, they trained them to detect enemy sonar through enemy submarine vessels. You can see right here the military. And you're like, oh, Florida, yeah, this is probably going on in Florida. I mean, Cuba's literally what, 50, 80 miles away, you got Cuba. So yeah, obviously you're wondering what this guy talking to dolphins and underwater in Florida. Well, I mean, there's a lot that goes on in Florida, you know. I don't know if you guys ever been to the Keys, but they got like submarine trenches there, you know? And so they got these dolphins that they train and use. I'm sure now with AI, like it says this AI project with Google, I guarantee we have ways to talk to dolphins, especially if dolphins have psychic abilities, you know? And so apparently there's some law out there that says you're not allowed to communicate with dolphins. It's against the law. And most likely it has something to do with what they're doing with these dolphins, training them using AI. They're using these dolphins as pretty much weapons of war. So yeah, I just wanted to put my input in there. And where this idea come up with, or how did I come up with this idea? Well, I did a little bit of research, but like I said, all roads lead back to Red Alert 2 and the Third World War, this Westwood Studios game of right here, these psychic dolphins. And you guys gotta check out Red Alert 2. It's a best game ever made. But yeah, there's some validity to Gerald the Dolphin. Maybe this is called Project Gerald. And the reason why there's so much activity going on down there right now is because probably they're working with Google or something, training these dolphin uh, to gear up for things to come. You know. Well, that's my video, guys. Go check out Barry's Step if you want to. Otherwise, I'm ending this video. Have a good day. Adios.